The police were called last night to investigate some strange noises coming from a house here in eastern Bulgaria. Reports say that once inside the house, the police saw something strange, though the police officers who actually went into the house have barely said anything understandable since coming out of the house. An unknown man was arrested from the house, but police have not said who the person is or what crime they are charged with committing. Footage from the scene seems to suggest that this figure had webbed feet and a connection to the Rana.
Mr. Nick, you've been on our radar for some time now. A well-known associate of the Rana, an avid player of Songs of Conquest, so popular you've even made your own talk show. So you can understand our confusion on why we would find you here at a crime scene in Bulgaria. Mr. Nick, me and my associates will be giving you one chance to explain your side of the story. I suggest you make good use of it.
Well, it all begins with that dreaded fourth achievement.
And what is this fourth achievement?
A life worth lived.
A life worth lived. Interesting. At the crime scene, we found this dossier, this booklet of notes titled A Life Worth Lived. It belonged to, well, I'm sure you know who it belonged to. How does this matter to the subject at hand?
Have you read it yet? Open it up. Let's do this together.
Please don't associate the two of us together. But for the sake of curiosity, I will open this up. I see. Oh, this looks to be a set of instructions. What are these instructions for, Mr. Nick?
You have them there right in front of you. Time to start reading.
The overwhelming difficulty achievement for Baria. Baria? I thought you were associated with the Rana.
It's funny how things change when your life hangs in the balance.
And this had anything to do with the fact that we picked you up unconscious in a swamp in eastern Bulgaria.
I received that dossier 3 weeks ago. I know both me and you know who sent that. The dossier, as you see, is instructions. How to defeat. How to complete the fourth Songs of Achievement. A life worth lived. What I didn't know. What I wish I had known. There were also a set of instructions for how to end this world.
Be that as it may, these instructions are quite detailed. See here, you begin in the bottom left of the map. You make your way to the right, and you have to fight a battle that is quite hard to win with only the troops you have at hand, as you have not been able to build any buildings yet. If you lose this fight, you lose the battle and the campaign entirely. It says here, it's recommended to battle yourself, not auto-complete that. Is this right?
The word is manual. Manual battle. It refers to more than just battling it yourself.
After completing this encounter manually, as you say, you move further right along the bottom of the map with a new companion that will leave you shortly, this turtle person. Reaching a tier 3 settlement, collecting resources along the way, and any troops you can find. At this point, your party split in two as the new compatriot leaves, warning you of imminent attack from the run. One goes around the local area picking up outlaws, is it? Scavengers?
What you don't know. This is historical, not a video game. Oh, that's why you found me in the swamps of Bulgaria. I found those corpses.
We'll leave out the corpses till later for now. We will circle back on that. The other member of the party takes a teleporter which will instantly break after use to the middle of the map and continue left, fighting and gathering resources and getting settlements until they reach the far side of the left side of the map with a tier 2 settlement, where they will then encounter a never-ending swarm of Loth armies. Interesting. It says you can't beat them forever, but you can farm them until you need to go north because, oh, I see. It says to win this campaign, you need to collect enough towers of power. Is this right?
Beacons. Beacons of power. You clearly know nothing about this game. What's your name, detective?
My name is unimportant, be that as it may. Seems the instructions suggest at some point headed north to fight dragons and Morana, eventually collecting all the towers, and then you win, while the other member of the party, this other, what's this say, wielder, needs to stay at the bottom right of the map and defend against an entrenching Rana enemy. It says here that you also get a third wielder, an accomplice, when you head to the middle of the map. But they will be rather useless, apparently. They recommend the one wielder you have in the bottom right, build up some troops, and then build guard towers. 2 of them, in fact, preferably at level 2. Apparently, the map will change, and the Rana will appear in the forest to the bottom right of this tier 3 settlement in the bottom right of the map, and they'll be alone to defend themselves. But it says here it's very possible to win and then take their settlement in the bottom right. And there will also be a portal there to help in the middle of the map later. Interesting. It also says that the other wielder you get in the middle of the map, this giant, is it? No. Don't correct me. It's fine. This large wielder should stay with 2 guard towers that's given to you at this small settlement on the left side of the map where the infinitely spawning Loth armies are to hold them back, while your main wielder, this old man of sorts, heads north slaying dragons in Rana to get these beacons you speak of. There's a note here, an important reminder to use these beacons to teleport around the map, which should make things much easier. A key thing to remember, apparently. These instructions are not very interesting. Pretty lackluster, and yet you haven't taken your eyes off them this entire conversation.
I didn't realize what he was when I first had him on the show. I had an inkling the second time. It wasn't until I fled the third time. I did my research. I learned who, scratch that, what, was sitting in that chair across from me. It's funny. I unknowingly walked into this trap. No one set it up for me. But unfortunately, Detective, that's where you and me, that's where we're different. What you've read there has nothing to do with anything I've said today. The demon, Forde, latches on to people who've read his instructions. Listen to them. He's going to be coming for you now. I couldn't take it anymore. And when I leave this world, I know I'm destined for the great down below. But I lavish in the thought that he won't be there to wait for me, because he'll be too busy with you.
We will take these words as an admission of guilt. Still, we have some unanswered questions about the scene that you were found. Some irregularities. What was with the pentagram?
Every good spell needs its focal point. I'm no wielder, but I know my way around archaic runes.
And the frogs?
The Loth get hungry when they're summoned.
I think we have all the information we'll be needing. You and I aren't so different, Mr. Nick, as you stated earlier, incorrectly. We have uses for you. I think you'll find yourself in good company. You'll be going to Gothenburg, Mr. Nick. Sweden is waiting for you.
I may be in Sweden, but he'll still see you in the next songs.